All right, so day number 11 feedback. FOMO, wanna be in everything. So, giving you feedback on day number 11 experience. Today is the 12th day that I'm on the journey, sharing the journey with you, the first 30 days. So, today, as I'm starting to wear the X39 as well as the X49, and I want to see what that is like, and I got myself like a 2 month supply, so that's 60 days, and I think it's going to be an awesome 60 days because the first 11 days have been super awesome, including the day that I didn't wear the patch. I made a video for that as well. I think it was day number 9, if I remember correctly, or day number 8. You can see it on the thumbnail of the video itself. So, sorry, X39, it is remember, it's the one that I call the OG. It's the one that has been around for quite a period of time, which is, I don't really know if it's the right way to say that it's the flagship product, but it is a freaking awesome product. That I can tell you for a fact. If it's your first time here, I'd like to welcome you. My name is Adrian Nelson. I'm a holistic wellness practitioner, and I am very focused on physical health, emotional health, spiritual health, and of course, wellness of the body itself. Because I think what we sometimes forget, especially when we get into the more sort of like spiritual way of doing things, we forget about the importance of taking care of the body. And remember, you are a human being first and foremost, and you only have one body. So you got to take care of it. It's not like you can swap it in for another body. So with the X39, the X49, so the X39, remember, there is the one that's beautiful. They all stimulate stem cell regeneration, which of course are the things that is causing me to have less wrinkles and nicer skin, and of course there are amazing reviews. If you haven't seen the reviews, there's literally thousands of them for all sorts of things that people are having, from pain to chronic diseases to just not doing that well and all that sort of things. Just before I get into the X39 and the X49, let me just tell you, might be able to hear it. There are torrential sort of like winds that are blowing in Cape Town today, and it's probably going to rain as well. I think it's going to storm in actual fact. So I've actually gone and send off the product for one of my clients, and I am pretty much not going anywhere for the rest of the day except for taking the dog outside. So the X39 is that is really, I can call it your backbone, I call it your foundation. That is the one that I've had this beautiful, beautiful experiences with over the last 11 days. And the X49 is really, really great for sort of like building up your bones, because as you obviously get older, we sometimes have trouble with our actual bones itself, and so that builds that up again, which is really, really fantastic. And I think that would be really, really great, to prevent you getting all those diseases in your older age, or if you already have them, they can really, really help with that. Things like arthritis and all those really unpleasant things. Or if you maybe you've got some strain, for example, and I'm only really thinking about it now that I speak to you, but for the longest time I've actually had with my left wrist, I've had some trouble with it, because a couple of years ago I worked in the US in one of those sort of like clubhouses where you carry those very big sort of trays and you sort of like balance them. So my wrist has actually been quite sensitive as a result of that. And I haven't even thought about it. I'm only thinking about it now that, I haven't actually had those problems since I started with just the X39. So you get the X39, your foundational product. Eon is really great for pain specifically. Remember, I was wearing the Eon the other day. So the Eon itself is really great for pain relief specifically. There are also ice packs, which is really for extreme pain release. And then with the X49, of course, building up the bone structure. So, I would imagine that especially if you have currently broken something, if you are maybe recuperating from an accident or any sort of injury or anything like that, I really see how these patches can help you. Or if you have, sometimes we have those old injuries, you've broken a limb way back in the day, where in an accident, some sports injuries, fell down a staircase, whatever the case may be. Some of you may have caught that I was sharing with you that a couple of years ago I was in a bus accident. I was literally sitting in the bus, and the bus was swerving out for literally a lady that was like driving across the traffic light, and it was actually red for her. But then she also had a young child in the car with her, and children can, like, they can really get to you sometimes. That's just a number for something that I did. So they can really get to you sometimes. And she just had a momentary slip up, when she was driving across the road. Bus swerved out. The bus literally drove right into the bank. The bank had like these glass walls all around. And I was going to bang my face, and then I just sort of put out my arm to stop it, but then I got sort of like almost like a pop vein, basically like a lump almost, behind my shoulder. And that has been quite painful from time to time. And it was getting to the point where I was actually speaking to my doctor, and they were probably going to remove it, because it wasn't, what is the word, malignant? Like, it wasn't really a problem, but especially in colder weather, and it's turning, it's basically the seasons are turning in South Africa at the moment. So we are getting into colder weather, and it did actually start acting up, but I haven't had those problems, so that's actually really cool. No lower back problems, because I've also hurt my back when I was younger. I've spoken about that in an earlier video. And so X49 is exceptional for that. But I've had all these results, all these benefits just from the X39. So you can really start with just that and use just that and have tremendous success from it. I also like the idea that there's regular training. There are hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of training available on this product. So if you do get them for yourself, or you are interested in joining and you want to know, what are some of the benefits and how they work and why they work. And I'm big on transparency. Not just that they work, but why they work. So then you can definitely, reach out to me. My contact details are in the description, and then I would be more than happy to share that information with you. My friend and I also have a Facebook page, and we've got a WhatsApp group. The contact details or the joining links for those are in the description, so you're more than welcome to join. On WhatsApp, it's more, we just share information. It's not one of those where everybody's showing to you like, oh, look at this, I had this for breakfast. Because, whilst that is really cool, there are a few things in life that annoy me more than that, because I've got a life, and I'm really busy in my life. I love my life, and I'm really busy, and I've got a lot of things to do, and I'm always sort of like on the go. So I don't want to keep on getting these messages, oh, look at what shake I'm having, type of thing. But with that, I have been experiencing, and this is really, I believe that I really prayed for this product, because I did, because I loved what I was doing. And, in my personal capacity as a wellness entrepreneur, I was doing really great. But at the moment, I'm still working from my apartment, and it's a spacious apartment, but I'm still working from home. And I have a dog, and I've got a lot of things that I do, and I do coaching, and I've got my YouTube channel for the videos that I upload, and I see clients, and I'm working on a book, and I'm creating like a tarot deck and like oracle deck. So I've got a lot of things going on. And I was beginning to feel that I was being very thinly spread. I've never really been the best at sort of like time management. It's not always been the easiest thing for me. And, I'd feel overwhelmed and even like burnout, as self-employed people can experience. And so I just feel more calm, and I feel more in control. And, what I really love is that, as I said, my biological clock is resetting. So I go to bed and I actually sleep. And I have good sleep, and I have restful sleep. And I wake up and I feel refreshed and revived, and I feel energized. I don't wake up and I still feel drained. And like almost like I don't have hope for life type of thing. I don't wake up feeling that. So that is really cool for me. And that is really something that I like very much. I still can't really, there is nothing that I can think of, and I'm really trying to search my brain. There is nothing that I can really personally think of that has been sort of like inconvenient to me. It's actually been pretty convenient, And actually on Instagram this morning, I saw one of those advertisements to get like your, sort of like your vitamin sort of booster, like those cocktails that they put in with like an IV drip. And it was like this relief that was flowing over me, because I have been very seriously considering getting that. But, I have been concerned about, first of all, I don't like needles. I'm a blood donor, and I only really donate blood for, because I used to work at a hospital, and I really know how crucial it is that there's blood, and there isn't enough blood being donated. And I am blessed with very good health. naturally good health. And that's also the reason why I don't really want to put anything into my system, because, I want to make sure that obviously that, like, I mean, of course, I want to make sure that the blood that I donate is, of a pure quality. And so that is also why I didn't want to do anything sort of like intravenous or anything like that. I mean, we don't. Yes, I know, but like, I mean, we still don't really know what's in that bag of liquid. So I don't know. And also a benefit, which I've actually been thinking about this morning. Now, this is going to sound a little bit haha, but um, because I'm on the go, and when you are on the go, it often happens that, you'll just order some food, and of course, you intend on eating really, really well, but then, you go with the takeaways and, all the sort of takeout and the fast food and all those sort of things. And, of course, when you go to the bathroom for the natural process of excretion to complete, and it used to be quite smelly. And if I know that I've got somebody coming to my apartment, I'll make sure that I do my business early enough so the place can be aired and I light some incense and stuff like that. But not anymore. So literally sharing that little bit of TMI, but not a bad smell anymore, which is really quite cool. I think it's really quite cool. Um, yeah, so if you want to know more, if you're interested in more, so I'm saying, what I'm doing is I'm just documenting this 30-day journey, how the experience is for me, giving you honest feedback. Um, Beautiful sort of like response that I've had to it. I thought I'm just sharing my journey, that's basically all that I've been doing. And interesting enough, everything that I do, it's always been, how can I help people to do better? That's it. It's always been my thing. And, a lot of times people will say, oh my goodness, Adrian, your marketing is so great and everything, and how do you do it? And I'm like, my goal is really always just how can I help? That's it. That's it basically. And that seems to work really well for me. And I think when you come to the point of how can I help people, how can I help the world, how can I make the world a better place, how can I serve? How can I serve my community, my fellow cosmic siblings? I think when you come from that point, you really can't lose. So I'll give you some feedback tomorrow on maybe the differences that I'm experiencing between just wearing the X39 for 11 days and now the 12 days, starting the both of them together. You can also, sorry, I just want to let you know, you can also wear them individually. It is not that you have to wear them together. So you can just start off with the X39, which is that beautiful flagship product, which is amazing for, sort of like energy regeneration. That is the one that was created for the, I think it was the Navy SEALs, to get them their energy levels up because they didn't get the exposure they needed from the sun. And here's the thing. Yes, you want to be careful with your skin and like exposure to the sun and all those type of things. And, obviously a lot of excessive exposure to the sun can lead to things like melanoma, especially, that sort of cancer. But as human beings, we need sunlight. We need light. You need it to energize your body. And that is also why, with even with fruit and vegetables, and like things that are outside, like vegetables on trees and fruit and stuff like that, you get the sunlight goes onto it, and then you eat that fresh fruit and vegetables, and you get that sun charged energy that is in the product, or when you eat meat, you get an animal that has been grazing outside, and the grass obviously took on that sun energy that then went into the animal, and then you eat the meat. The problem with that is that everything is so processed these days, and everything is so fake basically, and everything has to grow so fast, that we, fruit and vegetables is grown in sort of like greenhouses with artificial light, and so it doesn't really have the charge of the sun. Now you still want to obviously eat those things for all the other things and nutritional benefits, but you don't really, from a lot of times we don't get from our meat and from our other foods the benefits that you would actually hope to get from it, because everything is on just such a rush, and everything is so processed, and everything is so fake, and everything is so engineered. So you want to find a different way to get that energy into your body, because without it, you start to fall apart, because the body doesn't get the almost like the universal sort of feeding light that it needs in order to operate optimally, And a lot of times we wonder, well, how is it these days that we don't live so long anymore, versus, the years before? Well, because before we lived with a lot of less stress, we ate more healthy, we lived from the ground, we spent time outside, we touched the earth. Human beings are not designed to live the way that we are living. I mean, I cannot wait to move out of this apartment. I'm moving out at the end of the month because there's nothing wrong with it, but I don't believe that human beings are, that it's in their nature to live on top of each other like that, and to eat all this crappy food that we are eating, and to be under this incredible amount of stress that we are, and everybody's empowered this and empowered that. And also human beings have not really been designed to be on their own. When we look at dogs, for example, when a dog is on their own, yes, they're cool, but they're always better when they are with other dogs. Human beings are the same. We forget that we are part of nature, that we are not separate from nature. And the rules to thrive that counts for animals and fish and plants and all the other parts of nature also count for us. You know, you get a plant that doesn't get sunlight, whether it's a lot of it or mild of it, depending on the requirements of the plant, it doesn't get sunlight, it's going to wither and die, no matter what you do, no matter what you add, you know. And it's the same thing with us as human beings. And this is a way for you to get that very natural light, which is fantastic. So just sharing that with you. I hope that it helps. Stay tuned for the journey. You're welcome to ask questions. Feel welcome to reach out. You're welcome to join the Facebook group and the WhatsApp group. That's specifically why we made it. So it's not just about education. It's also about support. To actually be there for each other. And my friend and I, we're very real. We're not all about those, fake accolades and whatever. We're keeping it very real. I like to keep it real. I like straight talking. I like it to just be the way that it is. So see you tomorrow.